So coming to sit comfortably. Adopting a comfortable upright position that works for you. If you're sitting on a support, make sure that support is high enough for you to have your pelvis supported, your knees slightly lower than your pelvis, or you could use a chair to sit up on. You could come to kneeling either around a bolster or on blocks if you find that useful. You can use cushions if you're at home, or you can use blankets folded and stacked, whatever feels right for you. And bringing yourself into a beautiful upright position that allows you to support your head. Those heads are heavy things. And if we have our spine comfortably aligned, we'll have the curves of the spine working in a spring-like way. And the head and the top of the spine supports the head, which is roughly between your ears. And we're going to begin with a mudra, if you wish to use it, that encourages the energy to flow all around the body. And this is Vayan Mudra, and it's quite a simple one. It's bringing the thumb to the first two fingers of your hand. That's all, and the other two fingers stay aligned together. So it's simply the first two fingertips coming, first index finger, ring finger, coming to the thumb, and then we can rest with the palms facing upwards. And allow the body to settle into that, noticing how the breath is directed all around the body. And this is for optimal circulation. Inviting the air element. Releasing into the stream of serenity, I experience complete inner nourishment and healing. This gesture is particularly useful for anyone who has high blood pressure. It supports the cardiovascular system. It can release muscular tension from the entire body, but especially around the chest. And it can instill a sense of fluidity and movement of the breath, allowing it to flow freely. Feeling refreshed as you take your breath in and as you allow your breath out. And as we breathe more freely, we can also feel perhaps that we release some stress, tension, any anxiety reduces, slowly, gradually bringing us to a state of serenity. Feel your body in a relaxed state. And you can introduce Ujjayi breathing, where you slightly close the throat to allow you to breathe efficiently with less effort. And as we know, this current virus, COVID-19, seems to affect the respiratory system and the movement of oxygen around the body. So we might wonder, what is it about this that is trying to stop us breathing? What is the planet telling us? What are we learning from this experience? And how might we change our habits, our way of being, our minds, in order to move forward in a slightly different way as we slowly come back towards a more normal way of being. We may talk of the new normal, whatever that may be. And does that newness mean change for the better? Better for ourselves, better for the planet, better for the others on the planet, including all beings. So for now, we're going to take our breath, our energy, our minds and our bodies and work with them towards balance in preparation for the day. So releasing via mudra, letting your hands release, palms up or palms down. You notice that the qualities stay for a while after you've released. And then bring your hands to your heart for a moment to check in, see how you're feeling, to set your intention for the day or for the session. And then tipping your head gently down, bow to yourself and to all. And then releasing your hands. If you wish to, stretch your legs out if you've been cross-legged. And when you feel ready, bring yourself up to stand. Clearing out of the way any objects that might get in your way. And find yourself comfortably standing. Find your feet. Find your pelvis, find your shoulders. Find your head sitting on top. Then we're going to begin with a simple breathing and moving action, Eagle Car, which some of you may have done before. And this is in order to slowly wake up the breath, encouraging the breath into the areas of the lungs, and also activating the shoulders and the body. So I'm just going to tip my camera up a little bit higher so you can see more of the top. It's sunk a little bit. There we go, try that. So Eagle Car, it begins with the palms facing forward, and each action has a part of the breath with it. So it's either an inhale or an exhale, moving the body. And we're moving the body with the breath. So if you remember, we want to wrap the actions in the breath. It's very simple, but it does take the mind to focus on what's happening. If you want to watch the first round, you can, in order to establish it and know what's going on to happen next, or you can move along with me. As you breathe in, you fold your hand into a gentle fist. As you breathe out, you bring your fist towards your shoulders, bending at the elbows. As you breathe in, you take your elbows out to shoulder height. As you breathe out, you bring those forearms forward, so you've got a right angle at your elbows. You breathe in and lift those fists towards the sky, still with a right angle. And as you breathe out, you release those fingers. As you breathe in, you turn your palms towards the front. As you breathe out, you turn your palms towards the head again. We come down, breathing in, make a fist. Breathing out, tip the fists forward into that right angle. Breathing in, bring the fist to the shoulders. Breathing out, drop the elbows to the waist. Breathing in, straightening the arms. And breathing out, open the palms. Breathing in, make a fist. Out, fold. In, lift them, fill the mid-chest. out, open. In, lift the fists. Out, release. Breathe in fully, turn the hand to the front. Breathe out, turn the hands to the head. Fill the upper chest, breathing in, make a fist. Empty the upper chest, tipping forward. Breathing in, bring the fists to the shoulders. Breathing out, empty the mid-chest. Breathing in, lower the arms, fill the bottom. Breathing out, release the breath. Fill the bottom of the lungs, breathing in, fists. Empty the bottom of the lungs. Fill the middle. Empty the middle. Fill the top. Empty the top. Fill everything. Turn the palms forward. Empty everything. Fill the top. Empty the top. Fill the middle. Empty the middle. Fill the bottom. Empty the bottom. Once more with your own breath. And then let the breath settle as you come to end. And then you can bring yourself to the middle of your mat once more. And we're going to take a gentle moving stretch for the body. So folding forwards gently, let yourself release down, stretching the back of the body. Let the head hang. Check in with the stretch. Is it more in my legs, more in my back? What do I want? And if you want more in the back and less in the legs, bend the knees slightly, drop the chest a little closer to the thighs. If you want more in the legs, straighten the legs, push down through the heels. Then rolling yourself back up slowly to stand. Checking in. Then you can place the hands on the lower back if you feel wish to, and support your back as you take your back bend. Remember to let the head only go back a little. We still want that head on top of the spine. We're not looking to over exaggerate that neck bend. Have a smooth flow from the base of your spine through to the between the ears and the crown of your head. Am I breathing? Then releasing slowly back to the center. And stepping the legs wider apart, comfortably for you. Feet can face forward, or if they need to turn out a little bit for knees. Breathing in, lifting the arms to shoulder height. Tipping over to the left as you breathe out. And you can turn that right arm up or bring it to rest on your head. Lengthening through the right side of the body. Keep breathing. Feel your lengthening, feel your stretch. One more breath here. Breathe into those side ribs. Then breathing in, lifting yourself all the way back to the middle. And breathing out, turn the other palm up, turn the other hand down. You can take your arm over as far as it wants to go or rest it on your head. Keep that side of the body long and breathe deeply into it. Outside edge of that left foot working. And then breathing in, lifting all the way back to the center. Then from there, you could fold yourself forward and let the arms dangle and the head dangle into a slightly wider legged forward bend.
And if you're happy to, if you can reach the floor, leave your left hand on the floor. If not, take your left hand to the outside of your right leg and take the right hand onto the lower back and turn the chest and rotate the ribs up towards the ceiling. If you want to extend that right arm, you can do. You're rotating carefully around. If you find it tricky, bend your left leg. That will give you a little more ability to twist. Rotate. Then releasing back to the middle, both legs straight, arms dangling. You can either have your left hand on the floor, right hand on the floor, left hand on the sacrum, or bring the left hand to the outside of that left leg. And rotating your chest and lifting that arm up if it's safe to do so, or bending the right knee a little bit to give you touch more twist. That releases the pelvis a little. Be careful of your pelvis. Don't rotate too much into your lumbar. Use your chest, rotate your ribs. And then rolling back to the middle, letting go, dangling once more. Check that head is released. And then if you want to use a bit of strength, engage through your center. Take the arms out to shoulder height, lift halfway. Flat back, crown of the head leading forward. Breathe. And then lifting you all the way up. And release. Well done. Stepping your feet in. Observing your body, checking how it is, what's going on. How do I feel? And then we're going to take a kneeling practice. So hopefully your knees are all right. There are options here for people whose knees are tender and depending on what your body is able to do. So if you feel you want to, you can probably do it with me, and we're going to build it up and then build it back down again. So it's a mini sun salutation on the knees. If you come down to kneel, use a blanket underneath your knees if you need extra padding, depending on what the floor surface is like where you are, and have plenty of space in front of you. So you want to be kneeling in the last third of your mat. So as you come down, if you are able to kneel down in Vajrasana with your bottom on your heels, you can do. If that isn't appropriate, then have a high kneel position instead, and you can work from there. So this could be your starting place with your hands at the heart in prayer position, or this could be your starting place. Either is fine, whichever works best for you. So the first action is here, and we breathe in and we breathe out. We're then going to move from pose to pose, working with the breath, and then we come back. So each time we add a pose, add an asana, we return to the one before, and then we start again and add another one. So each time we're adding one action to the process. Let's start with one. Make sure you've got enough room at the side of you for your arms to go wide and up. So hands at your heart. Have enough space in front of you to move. Breathe in here and breathe out. And that's position one. Position two, we breathe in, lift up to kneel high, arms up high. And we bring the palms together, breathe out, back to position one. We breathe in and out in position one. Breathe in to position two. Position three is leaning forwards into child. If that's not comfortable for your knees, you can come into breaking position, or you can come into rounded cat. Breathing in, lifting back up to number two. As you breathe out, returning palms to your heart to number one. In, out at number one. Breathing in, lifting up to number two. As you breathe out into child, number three. Keep the arms forward, flat on the floor. Breathing in to your cow, lifting your chest, strengthening the front of the body. Breathing out, back to child. Breathing in, lifting up to two. Breathing out, back to one. Breathe at one. Breathing into two.
Breathing out to 3, child
or cat.
Breathing in to cow, 4. Out to cat,
Round that back, 5.
in to cat, cow, out to child. In to lift, strong, and you can salute here if you wish. Out, back to 1. Breathe in at 1. Out at 1. Into 2. Out to 3, child.
Into 4.
Cow.
Out to 5. Cat. You might need to move your hands forward a little bit.
Into up dog. Out
To cat.
in to cow. Out to child.
Into high kneel.
Salute. Out, back to 1. In, out. Breathing in. Out to child.
In.
Cow. Rounding the back.
Pull the navel in. Breathe out. Adjust if you need to.
Into a long back forward bend. Tuck your toes at the end of this.
And then lift yourself up into your down face dog. This is the final pose. Stay for a few breaths. Breathe, check your position. Bend your knees if you need to. Lift those buttocks. Then you're moving forward again, in between your arms if you can. Put the knees on the ground if you need to. Tops of the feet if you wish to.
Then back.
Rounding into cat. Readjust the arms as you need to.
Cow. Child.
High kneel.
Back to beginning. So well done. You managed to do that. So we're going to do it one more time right the way through, all the way to down face dog. Now, if you find that any of those areas are a bit iffy, instead of going forward into up dog and down dog, what you could do is carry on with your cat cow instead. And then as we get to the down face dog, at this time round, I'm going to invite anybody who wants to take their leg up behind them and do a little twist there. If you're in cat cow, instead, if you're on all fours, you can do the tiger, or you can bend that leg and lift it a little higher or lift it out to the side. So any of those variations that you feel are appropriate for your body as we stay at the final pose, and then we'll make our way back again. So hopefully this will put it into your body, into your head more easily. Use your breath. Remember to encompass. So as you move, you begin to breathe before you move, and then at the end of the movement, you've still got a little bit of breath left. So adapt. Obviously, you may not end here. You might be working from this position all the way through, and this is where you end. That's absolutely fine. Okay, let's see what we can do. Bring the palms of the hands together and do your breath in and your breath out using Ujjayi as you are able. Breathing in, lifting high. Breathing out, back to 1. In and out. Into 2. Out to 3.
Into 2.
Out to 1. In at 1. Out. Into 2. Out to 3.
Into 4.
Cow. Out to 3.
Into 2.
Out to 1. In, out. Into 2 when you're ready. Out to 3.
Into 4.
Find that navel, out, cat.
Into cow.
Shoulders back, out to child.
In.
Salute. Out to 1. Stay high if you need to. In, out. 2. 3.
4.
5. 6. Up dog. 5.
Cat.
4. 3.
2.
1. Breathe at 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Ready to tuck the toes under. Down face dog or go back to your cat-cow.
Bend your knees as you need to. Draw the abdomen towards the thighs. Press through those hands. Release through the shoulder blades. Now, if you find this is too strong, stay for a few breaths. Then you can make your way back through the sequence with your own breath. If you want to stay, you can lift your right leg up behind you. Push that heel away. Draw the body back towards that left leg. Push that left heel towards the floor. Find your strength. Find your breath. If you wish to, bring that right heel towards your buttock and lift that right knee and rotate, looking underneath your right armpit. Rotating. Dragon swings its tail. And releasing, placing that foot back down, checking in, down face dog. And if you're happy to, repeat the other side. So if you're on all fours, you can do your tiger, stretching your leg out behind. Draw that heel away from your wrist. Bend the leg if you wish to. Rotate, turn to look underneath your armpits. Lift that knee high. Drop the other heel down a bit. Get this calf stretch. And then returning back to center, pelvis straight. Release that foot down. Check yourself back into your down face dog. And when you're ready, breathing in, lifting yourself forward into up dog. Breathing out into cat. Breathing in. Breathing out to child. Breathing in to lift and salute. Breathing out back to center. We're coming all the way back this time. Breathe in and out here. Breathe in, lifting up. Out to 3. Into 4. Out to 5. Into 6. Don't go into dog this time. Out to 5. Into 4. Out to 3. Into 2. Out to 1. In and out at 1.
into 2, out to 3, into 4, out to 5, back to 4, back to 3, to 2, to 1. Stay at 1, to 2, 3, 4, back to 3, to 2, to 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Well done. So if you'd like to come now to rest lying on your back in Shavasana to experience your body and let everything settle. You become aware of all those sensations that you've developed in your mini sun salutation. Settling in with your breath. As you breathe out, experience your body settling down. Become aware of any areas of the body that you are particularly sensitive to. Perhaps that the salutation has invigorated, stimulated. And then when you feel ready, if you'd like to bring perhaps one knee at a time or both knees together into your body and give yourself a gentle hug. And of course, you can hug yourself with your holding behind your knees instead of across your shins, whatever feels right for you. Just give yourself a deep hug. And if you feel it's appropriate for you, you could rock your knees lightly from side to side or circle your knees to ease out and massage your lower back. If you're doing it in one direction, make sure you do it equally in the other direction. And then when you feel ready, placing your feet on the floor and have your heels comfortably underneath your knees. So we're looking for our shins to be vertical if we can. Arms can rest alongside the body. We're going to bring our awareness to the pelvis. So you want to place your fingertips on your pelvic bones that are facing up towards the sky at the moment. If you feel like doing that, you can, just to check where they are and really have a sense of them. And then you have your sit bones and your pubic bone and your tailbone. So if you think about all those bony parts of your pelvic area. And you can work with your pelvis gently on the floor. So if you let your tail lift off the floor without doing anything else, you could press the back of your waist down and you can move those pelvic bones slightly towards your navel, the ones you have your fingers on if you do. And then you can roll the pelvis slightly to your right. And you can roll those bones away from your navel. And then you can roll towards the left one. And you can roll back, pulling them towards. So you're creating a clock with your pelvis. So if the one that you bring your pelvic bones towards your navel is 12, you go to the right, that's 9. You go to the bottom, that's 6. You go to the left, that's 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. And then you can change that from 12 to 3 to 6 to 9. 12, 3, 6, 9. And then think of those numbers, if it was a clock, those numbers in between. So you can start at 12 and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Make that circle clockwise one more time with your body. Very subtle movements, not big ones. The feet aren't really moving. There may be slight movement in the thighs, but it's really all about the pelvis. So keep it all in the pelvis. When you return to 12, reverse it. If you can count backwards, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12. Repeat that. Smooth rolling circle through your pelvis, noticing any sensations you might get in those SI joints, sacroiliac joint, where your spine joins on to your pelvis. When you've completed your circles, come back to the center and rest in the middle of your clock. So with that awareness, if we tilt our pelvis towards 6, notice what happens at the back of your waist. You can place your hands back beside your body. Check in with your feet if they're in a firm position, and then tip your pelvis to 12. Keep it as far to 12 as you can and tuck your chin towards your chest lightly. Remember, if you're using supports for your head, make sure they're not too high. But if you find your chin is very high or up towards the ceiling, then you do need perhaps something underneath the back of your head. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, press down through the back of the waist, and as you breathe out, keeping that 12 down for as long as possible, press down through your feet, and then peel the spine up all the way off the floor for as far as it will go. Don't worry if it doesn't go very far just now. Hold up there for a moment, check in with your buttocks working and your thighs. Then take another beautiful breath in and invite your spine to lengthen as it comes down, one vertebra at a time. Take as long as you like. You can breathe out, stop, breathe in again, breathe out, and really find the back of that waist as you press towards 12 first, and then release your number 6 towards the floor. Good. So we're going to change that slightly. We're going to tip to 6 as we breathe in. And as you breathe out, keep it tipped to 6 as you push off. Engage those buttocks and lift your body. And you'll have felt that's quite different possibly to the way you did it last time. Breathing in. And once again, lowering the spine. So 12 will come down before 6 this time, coming down. And if you want to, you can play again once with 12, lifting up, pressing down first, then lift up, and once with 6, down, and then lifting up. And it's quite different. And one way may suit you better. One way may make more contact with the spine than the other for you. So it rather depends on the shape of your lumbar back as to which works more effectively. For some people, it may be more effective to tilt to 6 because it engages their glutes, their buttock muscles, and really helps them to lift more firmly. For length in the spine, generally dropping 12 to the floor first makes it longer spine and easier to lift them off vertebra by vertebra. So when you've played with that a couple of times, you can come back to center. Check your feet firmly down. And if you wish to this time, you could use your arms, only if that's safe for you to do so. And either pressing the back of the waist down, so 12 first, if that works for you. Find those feet, find those buttocks. And as you breathe in, lift the arms and the pelvis off the floor. Stretch those arms up above your head if they will go. And as you breathe out, leave the arms there as you roll your spine. Engage those abdominals to control. Use those thighs and buttocks. And when your tail is down, you can tilt towards 6. Give yourself a little back arch. And then tilt back to 12 as you breathe out, press the feet and lift yourself back up. This time as you come back, arms start moving first, and as you feel those shoulder blades, spine coming down, lower the whole of the spine to the floor. Repeating that one more time, breathing in, arms and pelvis. And then when you are up with the arms, leave the arms up, lower the spine. Tilt the pelvis, breathe in, lift the spine off once again, peeling it one vertebra at a time. And this time, second time, coming down, arms first, because they are further to go, and they join up with the spine as you feel the back coming down. When you've completed all of those, in your own time, you can choose to slide your legs away, or if you prefer, roll your knees onto your body and give them a hug again. And then when you've done that, you might feel ready to slide the legs away and let them go. So after that, we're going to come to sit. So you may choose to do the hinge. And the hinge is using the abdominals to help us come up. If you find that too strong, please bend your knees, roll over to one side and come up. For the hinge, you bend your knees into your chest, lift your heels. You can place your hands on the floor underneath your buttocks. And you engage through your center as you lower those heels slowly to the floor. And just as they come to touch, you push and lift yourself to sit. So if you have that ability, that strength, feel free to do that. Otherwise, come up any other safe way for you. So bringing your legs, and if you can, set your legs a little apart and have a sense of your sit bones, using your blankets or folded blanket blocks, whatever you need to support your sit bones. So you're sitting up high, comfortably for you if you need that. And the legs an appropriate place so the toes are up towards the ceiling. Feel a sense of length through the sides of the body to the best of your ability. If you find that your body tends to want to lean back here because of tight hamstrings, bend the knees slightly. That may enable you to come a little more into the center of your body. And with practice, you can slowly begin to stretch those legs away. Having a sense of the tops of the legs, the hip flexors, and engaging them along with some lower abdominals. Use those to invite your body to come forwards. If you want to, the hands can be behind you. They can give you a little bit of purchase. It's not about bending the chest forward. It's simply from the tops of those legs, hinging a little forwards. So if you find you want to round your body, it might be helpful to cross your arms over, holding onto your shoulders, and feel that your elbows stay out and forward. They don't drop towards your pelvis. Alternatively, you could lift them up high into a sort of a higher wafer position and keep them, sending them forwards as you go forwards rather than down. That may help, or it may help. Whatever works for you to keep that sense of a long straight spine, so the crown of the head, so your whole body is tilting. You could imagine those buttons down the front of your body, and all those buttons stay in alignment. They don't tip towards each other, which would be rounding. So once you've got yourself into that slightly forward position, you don't need to go very far, noticing what you're experiencing. Keep that chin and breastbone in the correct position. We're not allowing the chin to go too close to the chest or too far away. And we may have some sensation here on the inner thighs to begin with. Some people may not have that much yet. And then we could explore breathing in, lengthening through the sides of the body. Are we able to hinge a little bit more from the tops of the legs without letting ourselves collapse through the front? Then one more time, breathing in. Again, if you've got those elbows, you could have those elbows pulling you gently forwards, keeping that length. Keep lifting up through the breastbone away from the ribs, the pelvis rather. And then when you feel ready, if you wish to, round your back. Let your forearms drop, your elbows drop, and even if you have your hands behind you, you can still let the shoulders drop. You can push through the backs of those legs if you're able to straighten them, push those toes up towards the sky. Arms can be forwards, resting on the legs, or you can bend your elbows and rest your head on your hands if you can reach the floor with your elbows. Whatever works for you. Let the head hang now, if possible. Breathing, staying for a moment, finding the stretches through the back, through the legs. And then perhaps engaging those inner thighs and the pelvic tops of the legs and pull yourself a little further down with those muscles. Use them, engage them. And then if you went a little further, relax them. But don't see if you bob up again. You may not. Then you can use them once again. As you breathe out, tighten, pull yourself a little further. What happens if I relax them? Do I bob up or do I stay down? And then when you feel ready, slowly lift the breastbone away from your navel and bring yourself gently back up to sit. Well done. Okay, so if you're able to cross your legs, bring your legs in. If crossing your legs is not easy, make sure you're high enough, sit on a couple of cushions, bolsters, blocks, whatever you've got, and perhaps have your feet together. Again, if that still isn't appropriate for you, then you could either kneel or whatever works for you, or even sit on a chair. So if crossing your legs is all right, again, you can use support underneath you to get there. And then bringing your left hand to the floor or onto the side of the chair if you're using a chair. And bring the right hand to the shoulder. Breathe in, stretch that right arm up if it's safe to do so. And as you breathe out, you can bend the left elbow if you have space, or you can slide that arm away and give yourself a long stretch to the right side, keeping the right sit bone down on whatever you're purchased on. And breathe once again into that right side. And you may wish to encourage the breath into that right side by bringing your first finger to the middle section of your thumb and the other three fingers together into Metta Prana Kriya Mudra. And notice if that encourages that breath into the side of your ribs, the front, the side, the back of the right ribs. First finger to middle section of your thumb, not the bottom, not the top, but the middle. And then as you're ready, breathing in, lifting yourself back to center, release the mudra and bring that hand down. Observe your body. Notice how you may find you're able to breathe more easily into that right side now. As you take a wonderful breath with Ujjayi, and then we're placing the right hand down. We start with the hand free, without the mudra. And we stretch. If it's possible, the arm can go up. Of course, it can rest on your head if you prefer. And you can float the other arm out or drop the elbow and find the stretch through the left side of the body. They may be different because you may have different lengths through the sides of your body. So breathe where you are. Notice if you can find those ribs. And then you might wish to adopt Metta Prana Kriya Mudra on the other side. So first finger to middle of thumb. It may ease the ability of your body to breathe towards those ribs, front, side, and back of the ribs. Find your breath. And as you breathe in, lift the body back to center, release that side, come back to the middle, breathe into both sides. You may wish to hands behind you and gentle lift the chest, open the front of the body. You can lift the chin slightly, feeling that extreme little lift and stretch in the back of the neck, contracting, throat, push the jaw up perhaps, and then returning to center. And depending on where you are in space, if it is appropriate, you could round your body once more over your legs, or whether you're kneeling or on a chair or cross-legged. Returning back up when you can, and readjusting yourself if you want to sit a little higher, and perhaps cross your legs the other way if you've had leg crossed. So working with Ujjayi, those who are able to, and that's as if you were huffing up a mirror, but through your nose. So breathing out is as if we're huffing up a mirror or a window, and breathing in, we're huffing up our lungs, but it's a gentle huff. It's a very subtle huff. It's not a giant Darth Vader type of huff. Then we close the throat slightly, we increase the power with which we can bring the breath in and empty the breath out. And we're aerating the lungs. And if you think of your lungs as having those little balloons on the trees of the branches in your lung space, and you want to allow as many of those balloons to fill as you can, because that's where the blood will pick up the oxygen it needs to send it around your body. And it will also reverse it and give the carbon dioxide back through those little balloons into the lungs to be able to be expelled. And then the trees and the plants pick up that carbon dioxide and give us back more oxygen. So it's a wonderful symbiotic effect. And so we need to keep the trees and the plants growing. And if you'd like to increase your sense of energy and vitality, you could adopt Brahma Mudra. That's with the palms, thumbs come in, make a fist. So your hands are palms are facing upwards. Yeah, you've got knuckles ready. So you've got nice fists. We're not going to punch anybody. We're going to turn those fists around and rest the knuckles to the knuckles. As if you had rings on your fingers, then you're resting all those rings touching. The palms are facing upwards, the thumbs are inside. If this is uncomfortable for your hands don't want to play this game, then instead you could adopt Hakini Mudra, which is our circle with all the fingertips resting together. So Brahma Mudra, the gesture of creative energy, awakening energy and vitality, or Hakini Mudra, the gesture of the goddess Hakini for wisdom. Settling into your seat, perhaps closing your eyes or dropping your gaze, and allowing this, whichever mudra you've chosen, to begin to affect your body. Find the breath, use your Ujjayi. Sense of the back of the neck is long, head sitting on top, shoulders released. Feel connected to the earth. With radiant vitality at all levels of being. I manifest my life purpose completely. So perhaps you are currently alone on a mat, alone in a room. And sometimes we can feel alone in the world. But even today, here now, we are together on a mat through the cameras, in space and time, together in a shared room of the screens. And we are together in the world. One of the basic tenets of yoga is ahimsa, which is non-harming. And in terms of that, we want to be aware of how we think, what we say, what we do. And we do not harm others or ourselves, the world, community, because we are all one rather than alone. Perhaps if you're feeling a little lonely, alone, you add another L and you become all one. Yoga is a practice that supports us, particularly our breathing, our pranayama, which may be very helpful at the moment in the world in which we live. And it helps us to bring us to an understanding, consideration of others, tolerance, support. Through practice, we become consistent, or consistently we practice. And that comes through repetition. And we are all part of the community, of our local areas, our countries, the world, humanity. We are all one. Take a few deep breaths with Brahma Mudra or Hakini Mudra. And releasing your gesture, palms up or palms down for a moment, and notice how the sensations stay. The quality remains even after you've released it for a while. Then drawing the palms of the hands to your heart once more. Smile. Because smiling is also a mudra. Even if you don't feel like smiling, you put that on your face and it changes you. And send yourself a message of unconditional love. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And when we feel that that is true for ourselves, we can begin to think of it in terms of those around us and the whole world and every world. Comfortable deep breath in. Hari Om Tat Sat.